Welcome. Thanks for tuning into The Good Nurse Outlook, a podcast about life from a nurse's point of view. But if you're not a nurse, that's okay too. Not only will I discuss things nursing and healthcare related, but everyday matters as well. Honestly, the topics are endless. I'm your host, Nurse Naj. Let's get into it. Hey, you guys. Welcome to episode 5 of the Good Nurse Outlook podcast. I know I didn't record an episode last week, and I really wanted to, but I had announced my book. It was just so much going on. I'm in between getting a new contract. I actually start this week. So it's just like a lot going on. And I didn't want to post on the weekend because I just feel like people are so busy in their lives, like they don't have time to listen to a podcast on the weekend because people are trying to live their life. And I do not blame them because I too, honey, was trying to live my life. But nonetheless, today's episode is about self-reflection. I've been going through so many different changes, especially with like announcing my book launch coming in March. I'm going to start pre-orders hopefully this week, if not next week. Everything is done. Website is done. Everything is complete. It's really just me removing the password off of my account. And I don't know. I'm just like a little nervous, but you know, I'll get to it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are listening to me on Apple or Spotify, please like, subscribe, review, leave a comment. If you're watching me on YouTube, hey friends, please subscribe, like, comment, like engage with me. I love it. The support, of course, and love has just been so great and so amazing. And I'm really so appreciative. God is amazing. If you found me on social media, welcome. My name is Naja. I'm an ER travel nurse. I graduated with my nurse practitioner, and now I'm an author. So, and a podcaster, just doing a little bit of everything. Every episode, I want to acknowledge a person that have made a comment, do a little review of the week. So today's review is from episode 4, where I talk about me being a CNA and now like an MP grad. And it was called CNA to MP grad, God's Grace. The comment comes from Justin, who commented, "Great message, Naj. Definitely adds a little fire to the soul. Being a man in nursing, it has its ups and downs. And being a minority, getting to work with lots of women has its pluses." Plus, Justin also states that I should interview an LPN to RN. But literally, so many people are afraid to come on this podcast. Like, y'all know I have so many friends in so many different areas, and everyone's just so camera shy. And like, why would you be afraid? Like, you get to come into my home, have lemon water, okay? It's amazing. I have coffee, tea, but nonetheless, that's off the topic. So today's topic is about self-reflection. Thanks so much, Justin, for your comment on YouTube. Also accept comments from social media. It's kind of been a bit overwhelming. So I just it's a lot of love that's coming in. But I really appreciate all the comments everywhere. Please keep them coming. I think it's just so important to do self-check-ins, just reviewing where you are currently in your life, goals, and even behaviors that you want to improve. An article by ThriveWorks describes self-reflection as the key to self-awareness. It allows us to look neutrally at our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions. Self-reflection should lead you to growth, positivity, and happiness. Did you know that researchers have shown that we think more than 50,000 thoughts per day, which more than half are negative and more than 90% are just repeats from the day before? Perfect example. I have a friend who I believe we are amicable, We text every now and then, comment on each other's social medias. But again, we're on 2 different life paths. So I text this person and I didn't get a text back, and it was like 12 hours had passed. And I like tried to blame the time zone, but I still kept thinking about it. Like, why would this person not text me back? Like, I thought we were friends. But I also know that people go through their own things. So I wasn't like trying to press the issue. But some days go by, I still haven't heard from the person, but like, I know the person is alive and well. Like, again, we follow each other on social media. So I just take it as a curve. But I was more disappointed than upset, because I understand how hard it may be for someone to be happy for you when you are pursuing similar life events and things aren't going well for them. You guys have the same vision for your life, but one person's path may be faster. There's a verse in the Bible. I really was trying to look for it, but I couldn't find it. But it just talks about like how you should run your own race. And if you're so into your own race and your own journey and your own path, you wouldn't even have time to look at the next person. I just try to just put these thoughts in my head. Oh, this person is busy. But then again, negative thoughts started coming in like, oh, well, are they jealous? I just kept having like, either if the thoughts weren't negative about the person, they were like, oh, well, are they okay? I hope they're okay. I hope they're doing well. But again, I'm not going to message you and I see you on social media. You look well. And I know people lie on social media, but That's not today's topic either. I didn't want to assume why I didn't get a text back. I just was like, listen, girl, you got a lot going on. And although you wanted to share a special moment of your life with the person who you assume is your friend, maybe they're going through something themselves. I did have to sit with myself and just wonder, like, why did it bother me so much? What expectations did I actually have from that person? And why couldn't I let that go at my big age? Positive Psychology posted an article titled 87 Self Reflection Questions for Introspection and Exercise. And the information was too good not to share. One of the things that was mentioned is that you should ask more what questions than why questions. Why questions can highlight our limitations and stir up negative emotions, while what questions help keep us curious and positive about the future. And I noticed I was doing like a lot of why, and the why was so negative, and it made me feel like negative and hard. Nonetheless, time went on, still no text, and that's just life. So I have 6 self-reflection questions I want to dive into. These questions were really beneficial to me, and I'm hoping it'll be for you. Number 1, am I using my time wisely? Number 2, am I putting enough effort into my relationships? Number 3, am I taking anything for granted? Number 4, am I taking care of myself physically? Number 5, am I letting matters that are out of my control stress me out? And number 6, am I achieving the goals I've set for myself? And when I thought about those questions, I was like, whew, child. Every day I try to use my time wisely for sure. I even come up with to-do lists, especially when I'm off. I've been off a lot lately. I know my life is just going to get super busy, and I'm just so grateful and very thankful to God for that. All positivity, even though negative things do happen and down moments happen, it's just about your point of view. Am I putting enough effort into my relationships? I actually been reaching out to friends who I've been a little distant from, just because, again, like I go through my own life things, and you have friends for different roles in your life, and not all the time can certain friends be the person you want to talk to, especially if they can't understand like your life path. And certain friends are more privileged than I ever was, so they could never understand some of the trials and tribulations I've gone through. Am I taking anything for granted? I am grateful every day. I'm always praising not only God, but just like my friends, and just showing gratitude, because I know what it's like not to have much and to have things and be so comfortable. I know it's just like, it really is like a blessing. Am I taking care of myself physically? I go to the gym, I have a trainer, and I love it there. Am I letting matters that are out of my control stress me out? Yes, I have a story for y'all. And am I achieving the goals I've set for myself? And I am doing that. It's so easy to like just get caught up in lifestyle things that, showing grace, showing gratitude, forgiving others, like that may not be on your to-do list. Your to-do list may be just to survive, just to get through. It's hard when people are not able to acknowledge the surroundings because of like their own inner things that are bothering them. Hope I made that make sense. Am I letting things out of my control stress me out? So recently I got into a conflict at work, and I could not let it go. In this situation, we both were wrong, the person and myself. I was wrong because I came in hot, something went down, and I was not appreciative of it. But I believe the person was also wrong because of how they spoke to me. They basically expressed that I was just a body and I was replaceable. And it did not make me feel valuable as a nurse, especially as a nurse who causes no conflict, who is a yes girl, who is smiling, who is getting, good reviews for the unit and different things like that. I went to express a concern, but I do admit I came in hot. And, you come in hot, what they say, you get more bees with honey. Yeah, it was bad for both of us, but I just could not let it go. And then I'm not really a conflict person anyways. What I used to be like, it wasn't professional at all. I thank God for growth, because I am not that person that would tear you down with my words, sarcasm, and it was just child sharp like a knife. I came in hot, they replied, their statement made me feel invaluable, and I was just like, well, you know what, I'm done. And that's not really like the mature way to happen, but it's just every day is going to be something. I don't want to say it like every day is going to be something negative, but it's just like every day you're going to come into some type of obstacle or some type of offense, and you just want to do the best that you can in that moment. But sometimes it's easy to forget. In the moment, you're hot, you're mad, you're upset, you're both saying things you don't mean, or maybe you do mean those things, but you probably shouldn't have said them. It's all about self-reflection and the retrospect of the event. Sometimes you may feel like every day it's always something. Here are 4 daily questions you can ask yourself when you just have a moment to reflect on like events and things that happen. Does it really matter what others think about me? Am I holding on to something I need to let go? To what degree have I actually controlled the course of my life? And 4, when all is said and done, what will I have said more than I've done? And that one is just so tough because are you expected to live and view every day as if it's your last day? Or is it meant to remind you to be intentional with your words and your action? You don't want to have stained memory on your name, on your character. You don't want a bad moment to define who you are. It took a while for me to really get to a space where I didn't care what people think. And I also believe that has something to do with just like maturing, growing up, and just realizing like people are gonna say things. Everyone's gonna have an opinion. And who is to say that, you need to listen, really? The more I've grown in my nursing career, in my womanhood, and my friendships, I really stopped caring about what people thought. I used to hold on to it because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be liked and included. Oh my gosh. But you know what? I'm my own vibe, to be honest. I'm a wonderful person to be around. I'm a wonderful friend to have. I'm an amazing friend to have, actually. I do hold on to things that I know I need to let go of, but that's when I sit with myself and I think, what is my reason for holding on to this? And again, why can I not let this go? Even though you shouldn't ask yourself why, but I feel like that's a good why question. I don't know. I'm no psychologist, but And I do believe that I've controlled a lot of my life with the grace of God. I mean, of course. And when all is said and done, I think people will say I was pretty amazing. And those are just like some reminders that I tell myself, like, you're doing the best you can with what you have and always seeing the positive in things. This is for my journal friends. Here are 6 questions you can use as a prompt. Number 1, if I could talk to my teenage self, the one thing I would say is, number 2, I couldn't imagine living without. Number 3, what does unconditional love look like for you? Number 4, what things would you do if you loved yourself unconditionally? How can you act on these things even if you're not yet able to love yourself unconditionally? Number 5, name a compassionate way you've supported a friend recently. Then write down how you can do the same for yourself. And number 6, write the words you need to hear. Whew. Honestly, that if I was a teenager, what would one thing I would say to myself? I don't really like those questions because I don't want to live in the past. I feel like, the past is a wonderful way to learn so you not make those same mistakes. But then also, like, why would you want to moat on to that? But it could just be me. I remember I had some nursing students ask me recently, what is something that you wish you would have known while you were in nursing school? And I'm like, y'all almost done. You've been doing the right thing all along. Like, study, work hard, focus. I didn't have no choice, honey. I was paying through everything myself. I had to be focused, but it's just like, I don't know. I always feel like those reflective questions are just like, not it for me. Something I couldn't live without for sure is my family. Unconditional love for me looks like loving me through it all, good, bad, ups, downs, broke, poor, you know, marriage, locked in lifestyle. What things would you do if you loved yourself unconditionally? I think I do a pretty good job. I don't work as much as I used to. I take care of my health. I take care of my family. I do the best I can. Name a compassionate way you supported a friend recently and write down how you can do the same for yourself. Y'all, I recently bought my best friend an iPhone for her birthday. She was team Android. I couldn't take it anymore and I upgraded her. Her phone is better than my phone. And I just love, like, I love doing stuff like that, especially my best friend. She's amazing and she deserves it. And I just couldn't take those green messages anymore. We was like communicating through WhatsApp, y'all. I did not like that. And how I can do the same for myself. I've announced my book release. I've been like doing numbers on TikTok. I'm doing pretty great. I really have no complaints by the grace of God. Thank you. And write down the words you need to hear. When I had that conflict with that person, my very, very closest, bestest friend, she said, I hate that he spoke to you like you didn't matter. You are so valuable. And that really touched me, y'all. I was so emotional. Like, I held on to that. I was like, you know what? You do matter. I matter. I am valuable. I am more than just a body. I think that's the rudest thing you could say to an RN, a registered nurse, anybody, and a human being. Any human being. I think that's the rudest thing you could say to an employee. You're just a body. I could replace you. Okay. Hmm. Ridiculous. Affirmations, they really hold me down because after that conversation with her, I was just saying to myself, so many people love you. You are exceeding expectations. God is so good to you. This person is saying this. What do they have to show for their life? You're young. You're doing amazing things. You are valuable. You cannot let someone call you just a body and you take that to heart. You are more than that. It is so important to know yourself, know your triggers, know your limits, know when it's time to fight and when it's time to walk away. Like, in that moment, I could have fought with that person, but I just walked away. I was like, okay, I'm a body bet. A body you won't be seeing no more. I love this verse from Proverbs chapter 19, verse 11. This is the NLT version. Sensible people control their temper. They earn respect by overlooking wrong. And most importantly, know when you're wrong and when you've made a mistake. Acknowledge your emotions and that gut feeling. Like, I was wrong in that moment to have such a rude comment come back, someone in a higher position. It was one of those who can go lower moments. And never think for yourself, like, oh, my life has always been like this. I've always been like that. Things have always been this way for me, because things can change. Your life can change in moments, a few weeks, a few months. It's really all about your own perspective. But again, and it's also about how you carry yourself and how you view things. Change to me used to be intimidating. People know me as this type of person. I can't do this. I can't be that. I'm doing too much if I think too big. Even me writing my book, y'all. I wrote this book while I was in nurse practitioner school, and I was on fire with this book. God put this in my heart to write it, and I just really wanted to help other nurses. Then I started thinking about, what would people who know me think? Like, oh, who does she think she is to write a book? What does she have to say that matters? And just all these little negative. The devil was on my back, y'all. Get off me, child. Get off me. It was the thought of others' opinions. Opinions that did not matter. Opinions that could not help me if I was in need. Opinions that were wishy-washy. Opinions that never supported me. Opinions from people that never really saw me. These are the opinions that I'm worried about. Self-reflection is so important to me because it allows me to center myself, humble myself, and love myself. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11, NLT version states, when I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things. I am so excited to see the woman that I am becoming and striving every day to be. As my pastor Jay, who has been preaching this sermon, I want to say it, but I don't want y'all to go on YouTube and look him up, and then y'all find out what church I go to, and then y'all be trying to meet me in the parking lot. But he's been preaching this amazing series. It's just like all about maturing and growing up, and I love that because something very special he said, years of trials and tribulations, God can wash that away in moments. And my testimony is coming. I'm not going to share it yet because, it's between me and God, but I know my testimony is coming. And when I tell y'all about this testimony, it's really amazing. And I just can't wait to share it. I can't wait to share it with my church. I can't wait to share it with the world, my followers, my friends. I just cannot wait. Anyways, until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Connect with me on IG, TikTok, YouTube, nurse.naj. Leave some kind words, rate the show. And again, thanks so much for taking the time to spend with me. God bless you. Bye.